Rockers and Mercuryans, when will James Charles actually be canceled? Like, when are we actually going to be done, you know, and tossed out the baby with the bathwater? You know, like, what are we doing here? This situation with James Charles and Kayla and beebetter and Zachsellars, which I'll talk about that too in this video, but it's so crazy that we are surprised. Like, I see a lot of videos about it. People seem to be like a little bit surprised in some way, as if like, oh, this is shocking. How is this shocking? James Charles is not a good person. Can we just like agree with that and just keep it moving from there? I mean, you can support him if you want to. A lot of people support bad people. That's just what it is. But can we not pretend as if he's a good person to be like shocked that that he would do something like this to a friend or associate like Kayla? Now, first of all, I will say this is a little bit biased. My team has worked with James Charles. My production team, when I was working in the fashion industry, has worked with James Charles, one of the worst people, one of the worst annoying, entitled people we've ever worked with. It was a disaster. But anyway, he still uses it as his profile picture to this day. So that's a whole nother story. I won't even go into that right now. Let's talk about this Kayla situation. Now, first off, I never even knew who Kayla was, but she got a follow from me. I definitely followed Kayla because I liked the way she handled the situation. I liked the authenticity she had. She at the very forefront, just right out there with it, just putting it right out there and standing up for herself, especially against the abuse that she handled with Evan, with this guy named Evan, which I forgot the name in the beginning of this video. This is about him too, but it's so crazy that she had to go through all those traumatic things with this guy Evan, and who almost unalived her, apparently, you know, according to her video, and now he's, you know, serving jail time for this, for attacking her and all kind of things like that. You know, it's very disturbing what's going on. So my heart goes out to Kayla. She definitely got a follow out of me. I like her vibe. I like her energy. Now, when I first saw this whole situation, I saw the beebetter interview. And I was watching the beebetter interview, and I love beebetter. Let me shout that out right now. I think he's a really great, integral person. I hope nothing comes out about him. I don't feel like it will. I think he's too honest. I really enjoy his product reviews, and I enjoy his, you know, his backstory, like the way he goes through, what do you call it, like the PR, like his PR advice to different companies and different celebrities. The only thing I have with him is that I didn't like how he handled the whole Kamala situation, only because I think he was right. I thought he was right about that Kamala video. I was sad that he took it down, that he got bullied to take it down, and I think he was actually right. And look at what he said happened. Kamala didn't win because of exactly what he said, you know, and other reasons too. We won't get into that. But yeah, that's the only issue I ever had with beebetter is that video, is that he took it down because he was right in the video and people bullied him, and I felt bad that he got bullied into taking it down. He did. Anyway, that's a whole different story. Let me stop getting off track. Now, when I watched that interview with Zachsellars, outing, or, you know, exposing Evanjohnson and the James Charles relationship, friendship, relationship, all that kind of thing, I was just like, okay, this is like, I felt a little energy from Zachsellars. I'm like, I think he's telling the truth. I felt he was telling the truth about the situation, but I also was like, why are you friends with Evan for so long? Like, how have you been friends with this person and not realize that this person was an manipulative, narcissist, abusive person, whatever they call him, like whatever they exposed him as? I was like, how would you not be able to see that if you're friends with him that long? And I got this kind of other vibe. I'm like, okay, obviously this guy Zach is rainbow. We can tell he's rainbow. Like, you can, I mean, I was rainbow too, so I get it. You can see it. And so I'm like, this seems kind of jealous. Like, he's a little jealous of James. Honest, I think he's telling the truth. But I felt like this is a little bit jealous and a little bit more like he was looking out for certain signs or certain things, certain activities that he himself had participated in himself in the past, you know? So like calling out certain things that James was doing that may have been predatory. I felt like he knew a little bit too fast that was predatory, and then he caught on to it quick because maybe he did himself. That's what I got the vibe. Before all the allegations came out about Zachsellars, I felt that, but I still felt like he was being honest about the situation, about what the details he had, because he was ready to go to court, you know, at the time. He was ready for it. And I was like, I just had the feeling that Zachsellars wanted to get down with Evan Johnston the same way that he's claiming that James Charles got down with him. which I believe he did. You know, I believe James Charles did. I'll go into that as we continue. So, am I surprised about the Zachsellars allegations? People started alleging that he's a PDF and pedophile, all that kind of stuff. Am I surprised about it? No, I'm not surprised about that. But that doesn't take away his honesty about what he experienced with Evan Johnson, being a friend of Evan Johnson, and seeing the whole situation and dialogue between him and James Charles, which is supposed to be an associate or friend to Kayla, you know, the one who this whole thing should be about. But James has somehow made this all about him because he wanted to take somebody's man, you know, he just wanted to take somebody's man. It's like, oh, so embarrassing. This is just such an embarrassing situation. Now, when it comes down to the way beebetter handled that situation, that made me really believe, okay, Zachsellars is guilty of these allegations. I was like, because he's not answering. Beebetter reached out to him, he's not answering about it. He was so loud on live, you know, asking for money, asking for gifts and stuff to expose James Charles, which I still think was accurate. I still think it was completely accurate what he was saying, but he was just not being honest about himself and maybe some things in his past that or his intentions with Evan, being a friend of Evan himself. Like, why are you friends with this guy, Evan? What do you really have in common with this guy, Evan? You know, like, that was something I was like, what do you, like, oh, he just wants to be in the modeling industry. Let me help him in the modeling industry. Okay, you want the D, I get it. You want the Evan D. Okay, gotcha. So that, like, that gave me a lot more integrity in what beebetter was saying, and that he was like, hey, even like he was like, I want to extract information from Zachsellars. I'm not saying that this guy is not guilty. So I'm gonna say that right there. I'll just leave that there. I do believe he's guilty. We'll see what he says next. He said he got hacked, which, okay, very, like, the allegations come out and then you get hacked and your account gets blocked on TikTok. Very sketchy, all sketchy, whatever. Okay, let's get over to James Charles, because I used to be a James Charles apologist. Especially when the Tati Westbrook situation happened. Tati Westbrook had me blocked because I was like calling her out for being a grown-ass woman, like bullying this young guy, like this young James Charles. What did he do? What did he do? Like, you're over here acting like you aren't double his age. And I was just so, like, defensive of James Charles for a long time until I realized what kind of person he really was. You know, I even was against Jeffree Star for a lot of that. I mean, I've always liked Jeffree Star, but then I was like more like, why are you attacking James Charles? Like, why are you so mad? And now I see it. I see it so clear. I'm like, oh, this is, especially after working with him, I'm like, ooh. Like, after my team worked with him, I was just like, oh, this is a really, like, nasty spirit. Some people have this dark energy around them, very manipulative, very, like, just petty, dark energy. And it's the scariest when they smile in your face, when they're just like, oh yeah, sisters, hi sisters, hi sisters, hi sisters. It's like, how are you gonna even copyright a trademark sisters? You ain't even a woman. Anyway, let me stop. Let me keep going. Okay, so we have James Charles over here saying that he didn't take Kayla's messages to him seriously when she said that she got attacked and was abused by this man, Evan Johnson, who he then created a friendship with. That is so sketchy. That's so sketchy. I'm just like, what? Somebody says that they've been abused and the worst things in the world a person can do to them have happened to her, and yet you're just like, I don't take it seriously. What? And you thought he was so fine, so sexy, that you just had to go past girl code since you're a sister. Aren't you a sister, James Charles? Aren't you a sister? You know, like, you have to go past the girl code or sister code and try to take her man after they break up. And allegedly, it was before they even broke up. He's already sending messages. That screenshot that Kayla took from when they were in Hawaii at a dinner, whatever the heck they were, and James is like, why should I come? Why should I come, you know, to Hawaii with you guys? You only send that to somebody you're trying to F. Period. You only send that to somebody you're like, you know, let's get, you know, I want that deed. Like, you don't expect it to be shown around. He didn't expect it to be shot or whatever. And he tried to make excuses like, oh, well, they sent the picture first of the whole group together. Okay. That makes it like, okay, he sent the picture of the group together saying, you know, hey to you, whatever. Kayla didn't even know you're messaging him. He was like, what? Why are you in the DMs of my man? So that makes me think there was more communication before that picture. And then the comfort to send that to your friend's man is crazy. I don't even care if the friends are all together. You could just send a message saying, oh, cool, why should I come out there if you want that? I mean, even that question is a little bit sketchy. It's like you're trying to allude that something's going to happen if you come out there, or you want, it's just, even a heart emoji would be too much. But you're over here sending kissy faces. Like, so sketchy. So sketchy. And so his whole apology video saying that he's going to be suing Zach for these false allegations, and that he regrets that he created a friendship. He doesn't support Evan Johnson. So you don't support him, but you invited him to your house? And let's get back to that house part in a second, because when Kayla made her response video, putting all the receipts out there, saying that that James Charles was the only person that Kayla ever talked, that Kayla had ever spoken to about a 30-part series about the abuse that she experienced with Evan Johnson. And then all of a sudden, Evan knows about it the next day or the same day, because like James Charles screenshotted and sent it to, like, allegedly that part, because I guess we don't have proof of that, but like that's allegedly what happened. He screenshotted it and sent the screenshot through Snapchat to Evan Johnson. And I'm like, at this point, James Charles filed the lawsuit against Zachsellars, whatever. Like, file the lawsuit, because we want all the stuff to come out in Discovery. We can see it. You have to release everything. And just because it's on Snapchat, just because on Instagram, I think you can still get that data back. I feel like even if it's gone, you can still get that data for the courts. If the courts needed it, it's still available. That's what I've heard. I don't know how that works, because it's kind of like, is it really disappeared? Anyway, so Kayla made a really good point and said, oh, well, if you didn't have any bad intentions, and you were just trying to be friends, and Evan Johnson was having self-harm ideations, and he was really sad, and I was trying to be a friend for him, but not a friend for your friend or associate you done videos with, who said that she was abused. Like, you don't want to be there for her? You're not checking on her? You're not messaging her? Even when she puts out her 30-part series that you like leaked to Evan, you still didn't check up on her? Like, the next message you send is when beebetter and Zachsellars is calling you out. When they're calling you out, that's the first message you send after all the drama. Now that it's public, that is so insane. And so she said, like, oh, well, you released everybody else's text messages between you, but why didn't you release all the DMs with Evan Johnson? That's what Kayla said. Like, why didn't James Charles release those messages? So then he posts the screenshots of a few messages, and if you read those messages, you can tell that there's something before, and you can also tell, because when Zachsellars said that he started sending it in vanish mode. So he's not able to screenshot everything. What was in that vanish mode? What was all the messages in the vanish mode? And also, how did we get from, oh, cool, you should come to Hawaii with me? Oh, cool. Why should I come? Well, how did we get from there to, oh, come to my house and stay with me for a week, right? Was it a week or two? Hell, it was a while. He stayed at his house. Why are you bringing this man to your house? You're a multimillionaire. You could literally get a deal for a hotel. They'll be happy. You can say the hotel's for you. They'll give the hotel to you for free. And you can let your little friend, Evan, stay there at the hotel. You knew why you wanted to bring him home, because you want to do some things that you can only do at home in the comfort of your bed. You didn't want to be caught with the cameras walking out with somebody else's man. And now James wants to make himself the victim, be like, oh, well, I was manipulated too. He manipulated me. He lied to me. I'm a victim of him too. So now you're a victim too? You are just the harbor of the attacker of the victim that is Kayla, that actually in court won. But now you're a victim too, because you wanted the D so bad that you brought the wrong guy out to your home. Lying. I think he's lying when he says that there was nothing sexual that happened. Nothing. So you brought him to your house to get out, just ate popcorn and ate pizza and watch TV for days or weeks, whatever, how long he was there. You just brought him to your house to do that. Nothing else happened. You think we're dumb? Like, we've seen the other videos. There's other videos that's leaked that showed him, doing this activity before. And that's why I'm like, he should have been canceled before this. James Charles has already admitted to messaging people who are not of age. He's already admitted to it. People have shown receipts. Constant receipts, like people who they seem very honest. A lot of people who accused him, they seem very, and he admitted to it. But yeah, he's still not canceled for that. He should be in jail. I really do feel like James Charles should be in prison. 100%. 100%. You know, and I think because he looks so young, James Charles does, that we just feel like, oh, well, it's just kids having fun. It's just, you know, he just didn't know. He didn't realize he's young too. Isn't he like 25? Hold on. Hold up. How old is James Charles?
You don't have James Charles's birthday.
Oh my God. Search up how old James Charles is.
James Charles.
He's 25 years old. The first one, because I have James Charles's contact or his old number in my phone, so I don't have his birthday in my phone. But so that's why it's like you don't have his message, you don't have his phone number, his what do you call it, birthday in your phone. So that's why the first one said that. But he's 25 years old. He's 25. Now, that's a grown man. Grown man gets a discount on his car insurance and everything, right? But you're over here messaging people who are 14 and like what? And you're acting like you're a victim of that too? This is outrageous insanity. So this is a pattern we've seen. And he sends them explicit messages, according to them. We've seen the shots. Not even according to them. We've seen the pictures. They've leaked. There's videos. There's leaked. I've seen crazy videos about this. And he's trying to get them taken down. But some of them still stay. I've seen them before they got taken down. I've seen wild videos of him doing things. And it's like, ooh, you know, it's a wild situation. So there's no way in the world, I believe, that he had evanjohnson at his house to just hang out and eat pizza and check on my good friend. You wouldn't even know him if it wasn't for Kayla. You wouldn't even know him. And so you posted those messages as if you're innocent is just outrageous. It's so crazy. It's like, I'm so in shock. But I'm in shock at the audacity. Not that he would do this, but the audacity to do that. It's like, girl, at this point, just be quiet. Not Kayla, but James Charles. Just be quiet at this point, because you're just digging yourself further and further and deeper into the situation. And I remember even Beebetter said that he had a conversation before this whole drama came out. He had a convo with James Charles, and James Charles said the only thing he really regretted about the situation that he went through with all the drama is that he addressed anything at all. That he shouldn't have addressed anything. And obviously he didn't learn from that, because he didn't address things in the craziest way possible. I feel like this is outrageous. Like, there's so many holes in the story. And meanwhile, he said he's going to file this lawsuit. No lawsuit has been filed. Nothing. No paperwork, no complaints, no nothing. Just lying. Allegedly, like, he went to try to shut the video down off YouTube, and then he said, like, well, you think that you're saying that I tried to shut the video down off YouTube? If I had that power, I would have been done that. Lies. That's such lies. He makes YouTube so much money. There are ways to go behind the scenes and, you know, at least try to get something shut down. I'm not saying it can work, but there's contacts you can make to get things shut down. People do it all the time. Rich and powerful people do that. So to act like he couldn't do that and that's impossible is outrageous. It's so outrageous. So I just look at this whole situation and I'm like, when will we learn? And I want to apologize to Tati. And I'm not the biggest fan of Tati Westbrook, because I do feel like she knew better and that she was still being shady. And then she apologized to him. Later on, she apologized to James. So I'm not the biggest fan, but I do feel like she was right at the first video. She was more right than wrong in the first video. James Charles is shady. Shady ass snake, you know? And it's just very like, oh, like we really dragged her. I dragged her too. We dragged Tati, and she warned us about all of this. We dragged Jeffree Star, and he warned us too. He warned us that James was like this. And it was so heartbreaking to hear the video where Kayla talked about how when she was younger, and when the James Charles Morphe palette came out, the artistry palette that came out, how she went and supported. She had her grandma waiting in line to get this palette. Meanwhile, she wishes she can go back and just tell that younger self that, hey, get out of line. You don't need this. You don't need this palette. You don't need this. You don't, like, you know, sometimes it's going to happen. Like, just warn her what's about to happen. You know, plot twist. Like, this is a huge plot twist. When he would do this to us, he will steal his own supporters, man. Do you really want to support somebody who, if you support James Charles still, watch your man. Because James Charles is coming for your man. He's coming for your man. You could have supported him and given your own hard-worked money, and he will still come and take your man from you. You know, but if James Charles can take your man, then anybody can, apparently. I mean, it's goodness. Like, who wants to be with James Charles? Like, I just don't see, like, sexual energy from James Charles. Like, I've never been like, oh, like, especially in person. If you see him in person, it's like, oh, what? Like, oh, no, thank you. You know, there's a reason that some people need a lot of makeup. But bye, sister. Bye, sister. That's what we need to be saying. Bye, sister. I'm just so insulted by this whole situation that we even let him get to another scandal. Like, he should be so irrelevant that this shouldn't have even been a big situation, because it's like, oh, of course, James Charles is James Charles again, you know. And I heard that he was like blocking people who put that screenshot, the picture of that screenshot out. Like, anybody put it out there, like, under his comments, because now you can comment in TikTok with pictures. I heard that he was blocking people for that, and I thought that was hilarious and very, like, obvious that he's guilty and everything. So I don't know, y'all. I just feel like we need to all support Kayla and just mass unfollow with, you know, James. Like, we need to be done with James. Like, what are we doing? I don't follow him. I mean, he blocked me on Twitter already. He blocked me when I called him out before for another drama he had. Another shady drama, talking to people who are under the age that they should be. You know, another shady situation already. So he had blocked me for that already. He blocks people all the time. When they tell the truth, he blocks them. Period. You know? And so I just want you guys to ask yourselves, when is it enough? When is it done? When are we done with this? You know, when are we done? And so, yeah, like, yeah, we can focus on the Zachsellars situation. Yeah, he may be a PDF. We get that. Get him too. Let's get him next. We don't even know who he is. He's not famous enough to care about, to be honest. But we should definitely, you know, like, cancel him too. That's fine. But what he said, I still think was true about James. And who else would know a PDF file than another PDF file? And I'll leave it at that. Who else would know that than another one? Of course, Zachsellars will be able to clock the T on James Charles. Of course. You know, who would know a predator other than another predator? Who would know? So, anyways, rock on Mercuryans. I just wanted to put my little T in here because I've been following it, and I'm just like, ooh, shocked. And shout out and congratulations to Kayla for getting her abuser, you know, in prison, like, going through that. I'm sure that was very traumatic for her. I've been through DV experiences, like, really tough ones with my ex who I was married to. Like, it was terrible. I almost died multiple times. And so I understand how traumatic that can be. I wish I could have sued them. I didn't have enough money to sue them, and they're broke as heck. And so it was just like, I didn't know if I could put them in prison. It was just such a messy situation. I just want to be divorced and out of there. I just want to be done with it. It was so tricky. And so, like, y'all send her lots of love and just hope she stays on the narrow path and realizes, you know, not to be around those type of people again in the future. Because sometimes you can have a pattern of bad people. Like, I've dated a lot of people who were not good people because you have a kind heart. It's not because she like wants that. It's because you have a kind heart, and you're easy to get taken advantage of when you have a kind heart and you're genuine. And so just, you know, I hope that she watches out for these other guys out here that are shady, who want to use her. And, like, there's no doubt in my head that Evan was using her. And business-wise, this was a terrible business move for James Charles. Kayla would have been a smart person to be, you know, loyal to, because what is Evanjohnson going to sell for you? What is he going to do for you? Even in the best day, even if he didn't do all the DV, even if they broke up amicably, what is Evanjohnson going to do? Like, he doesn't have the star power and the, you know, the star power of Kayla. You know, like, people like her genuinely. I didn't even know who she was, and now I'm a fan of hers. Before this drama, I'd never even heard of her before. You know, I don't really watch that much anything, so like, I'd never heard of her, and now I'm a fan of hers. I'm like, you know what? That I really support her. I think that she's very genuine, and so he made a really bad decision, business-wise, ethically, spiritually, every way, legally. I just think everything is just, it's a hot mess. So anyways, rock on Mercuryans, please let me know down below what you guys feel. Do you agree with me? Are you guys like, oh, you capping, you're reaching, RockMercury? If you support James, if you support Kayla, put below, say, I support James, I support Kayla, I support Zach. Definitely put I support beebetter, because I support beebetter. I really appreciate him for bringing this out like this, and I can't wait to see what he said about Zachsellars. I can't wait to see the next video he makes, like, if he goes deep into that, because now he's over here talking to the victims. Beebetter, talking to the victims. That's the last thing you want to hear if you're a bad person, is that beebetter is speaking to your victims. Ooh, this is about to get nasty. I can't wait to see that video. All right, shout out to everybody involved, except for James. We see you, James. Bye, sister.